Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Hey, it's Joanne and Bree, and we are rerunning our very first episode of the No Guilt Mom podcast so that you can learn all about our No Guilt Mom mindset.
Yes, this is one of our most popular episodes. And you know what? I think it's just because it is a really good message about what are the things as a no guilt mom that we can do, we can think about, we can work with.
It is a great message, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello and welcome to episode number 1 of the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, and I'm joined here by my lovely co-host, Bree Tucker.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
And we are super excited today to bring you this very first episode.
I know, it's the first one ever.
It is going to be fantastic. And we're kicking it off with a good one. We are going to be running you down the No Guilt Mom mindset. Because we, as No Guilt Moms, these are the ideals that we're trying to achieve. It's always about progress, not perfection. Practice makes progress. I like that.
Yes. Practice makes progress, and mistakes, they're wonderful opportunities to learn. That's all we all have to learn. So
Exactly. So here we go.
You want mom life to be easier. That is our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible, and making our own lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast.
Let's start talking about this no guilt mom mindset, because I tell people a lot that I do not consider myself like a total no guilt mom. I have not achieved no guilt mom. I still have a lot of guilt, but there are things I'm working through.
I think everybody has a certain degree of that guilt. And the guilt is even just like, gosh, I really wish I could have done that better. I really wish I could have done that differently.
Yeah.
And it just our whole job is just to try to work towards moving past that. Getting to the point where we're happy and we're feeling content with what we have going on.
Exactly. And this mindset is going to be 6 things. The 6 no guilt mom commandments. And I might go into Hamilton. No guilt mom commandments. Do. Number 1. Okay. That was a good transition, right?
I like that.
So number 1, showing love for my family does not mean doing everything.
Can I just be like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah on that one.
Because I feel like many times I will try to do everything in the house. I'll tell myself, oh my gosh, if I can just get all this laundry folded and the meal prepped and the house clean, then I will have done enough for the day. But that's not the case.
No, even if you get that done, which, life happens in between there. But let's say like you're able to get everything done that you had on that list, you're still going to probably feel like you could have done more.
Exactly. Like my husband just sent me that cartoon this morning because I'm a big, I usually do a lot during the day. And then I'm like, but I didn't get this done and I didn't get this done. And it's all about focusing like on that negative. Sometimes you get into that negative mindset when really, if we want to feel better about ourselves and good about ourselves, it's focusing on what we did do versus what we didn't do.
Can I just have a quick question for you?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that to your kids?
No.
Focus on the positive. Ever tell them like they're having a rough day?
Yes. Then yes,
like,
I changed my answer.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. I would say like you do that for your kids. Why can't we do that for ourselves?
I know. We hold ourselves to like an impossible high standard that we can never reach and never makes us feel good.
Right.
And a lot of us confuse doing everything with how we show our love. Like I see this a lot in parents who want to create the perfect school lunch for their kids and then make sure that their kids are totally comfortable, make sure their kids like get to their classes on time, make sure the kids have like their shoes by their door. And it just
all this preparation.
It's all this preparation. Yeah. And I think it drives us as moms a little batty.
Because if you forget one step, then not only do you have your own internal blame, but then a lot of times it becomes external as well. Like, Mom, why weren't my shoes by the door?
I know.
Mom, I was missing my napkin in my lunch. What was I supposed to do? I didn't.
Yeah, we have an example of that actually because we were waking up my daughter for her online classes for maybe the first week. And the first day that we got really busy in the morning and slept in, she came to us and was like, no one woke me up for school. And I just sat there and I looked at her and I'm like, wait, whose responsibility is it to wake you up for school? And she's 11 and she should not.
She just
not like that.
She gave you the eye roll and walked out.
Oh yeah.
That's what I get. A lot of eye rolls, hair flips, the face. I wish you could see my expression right now. Just the
We both have daughters that are the same age. They're actually in the other room while we're recording this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. Love that preteen 11 going on 16 personality.
But that's the first mindset in the no guilt mom mindset. It's showing love for my family does not mean doing everything. That is something that I tell myself all the time when I am completely hard on everything that I'm not doing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that's true in many, many different areas. So let's go on. What's number 2?
Number 2. My kids will learn through mistakes. This is a big one.
Oh, I love this one. I really try to live this one. This is definitely one of my personal mantras.
Yes, because our kids are going to make mistakes. They are going to fail. We want them to fail. Like, we want them to have that experience of, I don't want to say it, well, I'll put it heavily, crushing disappointment at this age that they did not get what they wanted. Because I think at this age, when they're young, when they're still at home with us, where they're under our roof, where we're paying for what they have, where they're taken care of, mistakes and failures, they are the best ways to learn.
Right. And you know what? We're still there to kind of help, help cheer them on. We can help them focus, move forward. Because there's going to be a time when we're not here.
Because, for example, like say your kid forgets their lunch at home. Do you bring it to them? Do you not bring it to them? What do you do?
Ooh, well, in my case, it's flat out of like, ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Good thing you got money in your account for lunch.
Yeah.
You know, that is exactly how I roll. So that my kids would totally tell you that. Yeah. I'd be like, well, too bad, so sad.
I've gotten the homework call from school before, and there's like a huge binder my daughter's school uses, and I have, when it worked into my day, I've dropped off the binder. But it wasn't one of those things where like I dropped everything to drop her binder off at school. She needed it right then. And I'm like, can't do it right then. I can do it though in 3 hours. And she wasn't happy about that. And she missed some of her classes that she needed that binder for. But that was the only time that year that she forgot the binder.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, like, it's very true about all of us. I mean, think about a time when you've had something happen. And right now, of course, I'm blanking, but I make plenty of mistakes all the time. And you have to learn from that not to do it again. I guess one example I can think of is sleeping in. That's a huge problem of mine. Like, anybody that knows me knows that I am always late. No matter what you tell me, no matter what time you give me, I will always be late to it. Because I always think I've got a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I can squeeze like 3 more things in.
That's usually the late mindset.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So then like my idea is I can just get a few more things done and I'm always late. So like sometimes we'll be running somewhere and we'll be sitting in the car and I'll be really frustrated. So I'm breathing to kind of calm down. And my daughter will be like, Mom, I wish you wouldn't be so upset. I'm like, it's okay. What did we learn from this? And it's silence in the car. The truth is that whenever I'm the one that messes up, nobody wants to point out my mistakes. And that's fine. I totally get it. Like, it's a little weird pointing out to your parent what their mistakes are. But I'll be like, we learned that Mom really has to get up at 6:30, doesn't she? Because getting up at 7 does not get us out of the house by 7:30.
I think that's a great way to teach that, though, because it's not just kids making the mistakes. Like, we as adults make plenty of mistakes.
Right.
And whenever we, like, explain, oh, this was something that happened to us,
Right.
it shows, number one, that it's okay to make mistakes. And number two, that this is how you recover. This is how you get it back after you make a mistake.
Right. And just that we can move on. You will get better from it because, yeah, it's important to be able to do that, to show them that mistakes are wonderful opportunities to learn, to grow, to figure out new ways to do things.
Exactly.
We're hitting that time of year where my brain gets so overloaded in December that I look for anything to make life easier. And I have to say, Brie, that Green Chef is one of those services.
Yes, Green Chef is there to take away the dreaded, oh my goodness, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? You can eat clean all holiday long with over 80 weekly meal options each week, featuring things like quick and easy, protein-packed, calorie-smart, or my personal favorite, the keto options.
And you don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays because every Green Chef customer gets a free session with one of their registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you, which is very cool.
And I have to say that I have been loving their recipes lately. They put things together I have never thought of. This week, we're trying the lemon basil caper pork with sauteed cauliflower, bell peppers, almonds, and feta cheese, my favorite. Their recipes make it so easy to support my wellness goals without skipping on flavor.
For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code NGM250 at greenchef.com/NGM250. That's greenchef.com/NGM250. And don't forget to use that code NGM250 to get $250 off.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Hey all, Brie here, and I wanted to share one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season, a Storyworth book. It is the most amazing gift ever. Storyworth is an online service that lets you create a special and unique gift of someone's story. I've given Storyworth books to both of my parents, and it has been their favorite gift, hands down. And did I mention it is so easy? Storyworth emailed my parents questions every week that I handpicked from their massive list of questions that they have. All my parents had to do was open their email and answer them. That easy. I asked my dad questions like, did you have any rules that you set for yourself as a parent, which you immediately broke? And he did. I even asked both of my parents, are you more like your mom or your dad? And they shared a lot of really amazing qualities that I didn't know about my grandparents at the time. Then at the end of the year, Storyworth compiles all of their answers, puts them into this gorgeous book that covers everything. My parents love showing us their books, and I personally love getting a chance to read them. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love a thoughtful and personal gift from the heart that preserves their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/NGM and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/NGM to save $10 on your first purchase.
Exactly. So that was number 2. My kids will learn through mistakes. Number 3.
All right. I'm allowed to say no.
Oh my gosh, this is such a big one for me because somebody will ask me to do something and I'll go through my head. I'm like, well, I could technically fit that in between this and this. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is like I'm a crazy lunatic trying to get everything done.
Yep. And then you're upset at yourself.
Yes.
For not getting it done. And then sometimes it can move on to that next level. Then now you start to resent other people for even asking you to have done it. But they had no idea what your schedule was like. They had no idea what you were taking on.
No, and it was hard for me personally to accept no from other people. Oh. Did you ever have that? If you ask somebody to do something and they're like, no, I can't do it. Like for me, I was like, well, why did she say she couldn't do that? I would have dropped everything to do it for her.
Oh.
And that was a problem with my mindset, and that was not a problem with them. They had very healthy boundaries, and at that time, I did not.
There were times, yes, I would say there are probably some times where I'm like, oh, but come on, I would have done it for you. But for the most part, yeah, I kind of just roll with like, it's totally fine if you say no.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of guilt or like, I jumped that shark to the next level where I'm concerned then that person's going to resent me about something.
Oh, because
I know
as well.
I'll harbor it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's okay. You can say no. You totally can say no. It won't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So, but that's with other adults, not with kids.
But I think that's what stops many women in particular saying no because we're afraid the other person will harbor resentment against us for saying no.
Yes. And that's what I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm afraid that more so with other adults that they'll harbor resentment. with my kids, if I don't say no, it's not that I'm afraid that they're going to harbor resentment.
Mhm.
I'm afraid that they're going to make my life harder.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's where that comes from. For at least for me, I'm like, is it easier just to say yes?
Sometimes, I've told the story a lot about how I used to be the yes parent because I realized that a yes would get my kids to leave and go do something else instead of trying to ask me a million questions while I'm in like the middle of writing an email or like trying to focus really, really hard on something. And it would be so automatic, the yes.
And what is probably one time you remember where you were like, I really shouldn't have said yes to that?
Oh my gosh, it was when your daughter was over and they asked me a question and I'm like, yes. And I did not even pay attention to what they were asking me. And 5 minutes later, I walk into the living room and they're doing somersaults off the couches.
That sounds like my daughter.
And they're like,
yeah.
You said yes. I'm like, oh, I did say yes. But it becomes so automatic, this trying to please others and trying to make others happy and not wanting to deal with that pushback when you say no. But that's why it's in the no guilt mom mindset. I'm allowed to say no.
Yeah. It's hard to say no. It's hard to set those boundaries, but they're definitely necessary.
They are necessary.
Yeah.
That brings us to number 4. Number 4, we're going to switch a little gears from our mental mindset to the way that we react with our kids.
Ooh, and this was a good one.
Not so much a reaction, but it's kind of proactive. And this is, I don't need to punish my kids to be a good parent.
Ooh, now that can be a really scary statement right there. What do you mean? You don't discipline your children? What do you mean? They're allowed to do whatever they want and just anything happens?
That's what the Karens of the world will come back and say to you. Yes.
Yeah, and you're
everyone
like,
in the Facebook.
Right? And you're like, no, that's
No,
not what I'm talking
That's not
about.
what I mean. So punishment is kind of viewed as a reaction to something.
Right.
And they're not connected really to the actual task. It's like saying, oh, you didn't finish your homework? Well, guess what? You're going to have to poop or scoop the yard for a week. Like those two like tasks, they are not related whatsoever.
Yeah.
And one does not mean like poop or scooper in the yard does not mean that the child is any more likely to do their homework.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So positive discipline teaches kids the appropriate behavior instead of giving them a punishment in the hope that that behavior won't ever happen again.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talking through the problem.
A lot of talking through the problem, a lot of like, what would you have done differently? What can you do differently? How can you make this better?
What do you think is going to happen because these were the choices that you made?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Yeah.
Exactly. I have like my own punishment story. I mean, my parents, my poor parents in this podcast, you're going to hear everything. They are wonderful, wonderful parents. And mom and dad, I love you so, so much. And I'm sorry I'm bringing anything up. So don't think that they're not wonderful. Yeah. But one in particular time, I was at school. It was 4th grade and we'd just gotten school pictures back. And this friend of mine, Heather, was saying how wonderful her school pictures look and how beautiful she looked. And at the time, I was a bit overweight and very unconfident and just entering puberty. And I thought my school pictures were awful. Aww. I felt so bad about them. So when Heather was out playing on the playground, I took her school pictures and I hid them under a garbage can. Because I needed them gone. I needed them gone. I wanted her to feel a little bit of pain. I hid them under a garbage can. I admit it. I was wrong. I felt guilty about it. I did. I felt so guilty.
You know what's funny is that nobody can see your face right now, but you are really reliving this story while you're telling it.
I'm so reliving it.
She is so upset when she's talking about
upset.
this. I can see like just the remorse going through her, like, why did I do this? Okay,
but I felt bad about it. And I felt bad that I reacted that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when my dad picked me up, I was like, oh my gosh, Heather lost her pictures today after school. Let's go look for them. And so we went to go look for them. And right away, I'm like, oh, let's look under this garbage can right here. Oh, here they are, Dad. Here they are.
And your dad was like, mm-hmm.
My dad saw right through that, being the smart man that he is. And he's like, Joanne, did you hide these? And I'm like, yes, I did. I hid them. And so he had to call Heather's parents. And I was grounded for a week, I think. Well, that grounding's a punishment. Grounding's after the fact. I didn't learn not to hide Heather's pictures.
Which you learned was?
I learned to be sneakier about it and not like show my hiding place right away.
not to fess up so openly to things, especially either when asked, hey, no, I didn't do it. It just was real. I saw the corner of it sticking out.
Yeah, that's the only thing I learned.
But that is true. Like, again, like I've been certified in doing positive discipline with parents. And that's one thing that we talk about a lot is that punishment teaches your children just to be sneakier.
It
like
does.
A lot of times when they do lie, especially at young ages too, because all kids do it, they're not doing it to be bad. They're not doing it to be a difficult child. They're doing it because they're just trying to avoid that punishment, avoiding something that had happened before. And sometimes that punishment to them even is just seeing your look of disappointment. Like as a kid, I will admit my parents did not have to do a whole lot of punishment with me because they just had that look that just crushed me. And I would ground myself. I would be like, can't go anywhere this weekend. My parents were like, why? I'm like, I did such and such.
You grounded yourself?
Yes! I was the weirdest kid.
I can totally identify with that statement because I think the guilt that I put myself through when I did something was totally like 100 times worse than anything my parents could have inflicted.
Right.
And in a situation like that with the garbage can, like if one of my kids did that, I would probably lean into those feelings that they were feeling.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so how are you feeling right now? Pretty bad. I'm like, okay, well, why are you feeling bad? And just asking those questions and trying to connect the emotion of hurting someone else with the action that was taken.
And you know what I would say too with this, I'm not, because I can go down a rabbit hole in this one, so I'll cut this one short. But I do think that sometimes, at least with my kids, and I've had other friends that I've talked with too, and their kids are the same way. Like when we try to start that with the whole, well, how does that make you feel? Or what do you think about that? Stop doing that psycho stuff on me, Mom. Quit talking about your psychology. I'm like, well, I'm just asking how does that make you feel? And when they get upset and they push back, okay, we'll pause. We'll come back to this later. I'll just keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
I'm like that lovely, annoying, bad penny that just keeps popping up. Like, oh, bring it up again, and we're going to eventually talk about this. I won't push it too hard, but I want them to know that this is important. It's a process to do until they get to the point where they're feeling comfortable. And they have, over time, gotten more and more comfortable.
My mentor teacher when I was student teaching, her name is Cindy, and something she taught me that I will always remember about student discipline is that kids who start crying, when they cry, they care. And if they're crying, you know that they care about what they did. And you do not have to push them. You do not have to dig any deeper. You know that this situation made an impact on them and your job is done. Then you just comfort and look out for the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a good thing to keep in mind as a parent. When they get upset, they know something.
So you don't have to punish.
You don't have to punish.
Be a good parent.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. It is so hard to raise kids who know how to manage money. Bree, right now, my kids are all about earning money for presents. My daughter wants to get presents for all of her friends, and my son is doing a Secret Santa with his friends.
Oh, I hear you. And if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, we have got a lifesaver recommendation for you that you need to check out. It is Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that gives kids and teens an easy and fun way to gain financial literacy, all while giving parents peace of mind.
You can send instant money transfers, automate allowance, and even keep an eye on kids' spending with real-time notifications. Meanwhile, your kids can begin their journey towards financial autonomy by learning how to save, invest, and spend wisely.
So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/NGM.
That's greenlight.com/NGM to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/NGM. My son is playing a game right now on his computer where he's a thief and the cops are after him. So I'm so excited about this new app, Give As We Grow, where instead of being the quote unquote bad guys, kids are practicing giving back.
That is so cool, Joanne. I really wish that there was something like this when my kids were younger that got them excited about giving back to others and helped them build a better understanding of what it really means to volunteer.
Give As We Grow is the first of its kind free educational mobile app for children ages 8 to 11 that teaches kids via fun, service-focused minigame quests to tap into their unique talents and interests to help others.
And did you know that studies show that there is a biological connection between generosity and happiness, and that volunteering improves people's physical and mental health? I mean, kids who volunteer typically do better in school and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And that is something that I think we all want for our kids.
Ready to spark a new movement in generosity? Find and download Give As We Grow for free in the App Store for Android and iOS. And for resources for the whole family, visit giveaswegrow.org.
Good one. All right. What's number 5?
Okay, number 5. Oh my gosh. When we were making these, we got so excited about number 5. Because this is something that, I
think
see.
Everybody at some point has dealt with this.
Everybody. Number 5, I need my own thing apart from being a mom.
Yes. 100% emphatically, yes.
Yes. And you have a story about this.
Yes. So I was like, when we were trying to come up with the ideas, I'm like, I have a story I can share in this one. So for those that don't already know my background, I am a single mom of 2, a few years divorced. And that divorce was it was very life altering for me on many, many aspects. But one thing that I found was really rough was when the divorce happened, I really struggled with who I was. Like my main identity was my kid's mom. Mm-hmm. I was my children's mom. Secondary identity, I was a wife. Third was me. But it was me professionally. I don't even know if I was 4th or 5th as myself. Like I was pretty far back there in that line. Mm. So when I got divorced, even when I was reaching out to my friends and talking to all of you, I still saw everybody as my mom friends that I was friends with because our kids were friends. Or not that's not why. Well,
but that's how we started our friendship.
That's how we met. Yes. And so that identity of being a mom was so core. Took me a few years to figure out me and who I was and redefine myself. And that then in turn affected all of my relationships with everybody in a good way. Like it was a very positive
You started
thing.
kayaking.
I started kayaking.
Yeah.
I found out how much I love live music. I just, all kinds of things that I had no idea that interest was there because I had never allowed that part of my personality to come out because again, I felt like it was my duty.
Yeah.
It was my duty to be Robert and Audrey's mom.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you're alone by feeling that. I think a lot of other moms feel the exact same way that, kids come first, I come second, and then I never comes.
Right. Because there's always going to be something your family has going on. I don't want to say needing you for.
But always something that's busy. Yeah. I mean, whether it's like dance that they need being taken to, whether it's Cub Scouts, softball, school.
Dinner, friends, like so many. Just
so
everywhere.
many. There's so many obligations in the family that if you don't count yourself as first or put that time in for yourself, it's just never going to happen.
So just make sure, take a few minutes to ask yourself that question. Like,
what do I have for me?
Yeah. What is me? What is it about me that makes me tick, that makes me, and it can't be tied to somebody else.
It can't be. In the book, and I'll put this book link in the show notes. It's called Fair Play by Eve Rodsky. And I would love to have her on the podcast because, I love this book so much. But she calls it unicorn time. It's your unicorn time, the time that you have just for you for a hobby. And she takes it one step further, that makes you an interesting person.
I love that idea.
That makes you a person separate from your family and separate from your kids.
I am going to start hashtagging that in my house. I'm going to be like,
unicorn
time right now. My daughter's probably going to be like, what are you talking about now? Mom, you're so weird. And I just go, yep, totally. And guess what? You're a lot like me.
I don't even know what my unicorn time is because I like this business. This business has been like my baby and my unicorn time. But it's a business now and it's work. And when that happens and when it like grows and gets successful, I have a hard time shutting it off. Which is, since Bree started 2 weeks ago, she's been telling me, I want to see a celebration and I don't want to see you on the laptop. I'm like, okay, got it. So I'm in the process of finding my unicorn time outside of No Guilt Mom.
You found something you really enjoy now too, kind of close to my kayaking.
The stand-up paddleboarding is tons of fun.
Yes,
tons of fun.
Very relaxing.
Very relaxing. And I like food, but I can't do that all the time. But really good food. Like Top Chef kind of food, like going to restaurants and being like really fancy.
Ooh,
that kind of food.
that would be a good one.
But
Okay.
that's something to work on. So we're at number 6.
Yep, number 6. Everyone contributes to this family. It is not just me.
Yes, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we take on a lot of the roles. And especially if you're on social media and people are saying like, oh, be the CEO of your family. And it's like, yes, but it's part of the family too. Like
Right.
it's not all on you. And you may need to lead the charge to get people in your family contributing. Like it doesn't just happen with a snap of your fingers. But it's also something that you need to believe in your heart that everyone contributes. It is not just all on me to even start making that change of
Right.
everyone in the family contributing.
And if you're having a hard time with that, one thing I would ask yourself is, do you believe that everybody has an opinion in your family?
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody have an equal voice or have a voice in the family? Okay, if everybody has a part, a stake, and an opinion, then they should also have some effort.
Yes.
Whatever you guys determine is right for your family is where you should start it. But I'm willing. Okay, another good book that we read was oh wait, it wasn't Distractible. It was the hacking one.
The hacking one?
Was it Indistractable? I think it was Indistractable.
It could have been Indistractible.
So there was a point where they made a list. The author made a list with his wife of all the tasks that they each do in the house.
Yes.
And he thought it was so equitable. And then once he looked at it and they actually had it written out side by side, he was like, oh, snap, you do like twice as much as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then he realized that he needed to redistribute some things, priorities in there. And I'm not saying that everybody has to equally divvy everything out, but it isn't fair. It isn't right for one person to take it all on, because what happens when that one person has one too many strains or whatever?
I can tell you what happened. She ends up crying on the couch on Christmas Day. Because that's what I did.
Yes, oh my gosh, I remember that.
I was crying on the couch on Christmas Day. And it was like, it was so interesting how it happened too, because I knew all this stress was building up into me, because my husband was busy with a project for work. So I had taken on all of the holiday preparations in addition to making sure the kids were everywhere, in addition to running a business.
Mm-hmm.
And after wrapping everyone's presents, deciding what everybody needed to get for presents, and making all of those coordinations, I was done. But I didn't know I was done until, here's the book again, Fair Play, until I read Fair Play. Because in Fair Play, she talks about how she was fighting with her husband and how things were just left over, and it was expected almost in her family that she take care of it. And that was the breaking point for her.
Yeah.
But after I read that, I was crying all through that book, because I'm like, this is so what is going on. And I think, though, that breakdown led to a change into how I approached responsibilities in the house.
Right.
Because after that, I sat down with my husband. I'm like, we need to divvy some things out. And we sat down with our kids and we had a family meeting and we divvied out household chores. Like, I don't even touch the dishes on the sink. They could be piled up.
That was 8 months ago, and it's still going just fine.
It is still going just fine. And, you know, some things, they don't get done. They don't get done by some members of the family. I don't get some things done in my responsibilities. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that other people take over and do them for me, and I don't take over and do them for other people.
Right.
And that's a hard shift to make.
Right. It is hard. Oh, gosh. My heart is... So we do something similar like to that in our house. And my son took over the duties of cleaning the guest bathroom and his sister's bathroom. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I walk by that bathroom all the time. The one downstairs, he knows that one he has to put a little more effort into, because it's the one that other people see. And Mom sees it. But he doesn't know that I walk by the one that's their bathroom all the time. And I'm constantly like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. They're doing their effort. They're doing it. It's okay. Yeah. It's not how I would do it, but that doesn't make it wrong.
No,
it's still getting done.
That's hard. That's also very hard, because I hear that a lot with loading dishwashers. Yeah. Like how some members of the family will load a dishwasher and then a parent comes in and reloads the dishwasher because it's not done their way. So in my family, I am horrible at loading the dishwasher. Like, spatial perception is just not in my wheelhouse whatsoever. It's not. And I will try to cram as many dishes in that dishwasher that I can fit.
Okay, have you ever not had a dishwasher? Because the first few
years... I grew up without a dishwasher.
Okay.
I was the dishwasher in our house.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it affects you in a way. Like, it's a little post-traumatic. Like, I didn't have a dishwasher at the beginning of my marriage. And, like, now I'm the same way. I will stuff that sucker full.
I will stuff it.
I don't care. Like, no, I'm not washing dishes. Can it fit? It doesn't have decals on it. It's going in the dishwasher.
That task was taken away from me in my house.
Oh, no!
I'm not allowed to really touch the dishwasher. My husband is very particular. He has that spatial sense. He is an engineer.
Yeah.
And he knows how things fit together. And my son has that as well. I would say I passed my spatial abilities down to my daughter. Because we're both like, it really does not matter how this dishwasher's loaded.
And they're both like, yes, it does.
It does, because their dishwashers are perfect. They're perfect.
But, again, it's about letting go and sharing. Okay, great.
Letting go and also realizing your strengths. And what's important. Because if something's important to you, you take that. Bathrooms in the house are very important to me. I need a clean bathroom. Like, I can't go too far.
Yeah.
And so I'm in charge of bathrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, with me, I wouldn't let them touch my bathroom. No, my bathroom is mine. I clean it because I have my standards that I want it to be. And I touch up the one at the guest bathroom. But again, I let them do theirs. I try to let their room go for the most part. I mean, luckily in our case, we have some house rules that they have always respected, like no food in their bedrooms and stuff like that. So we haven't had any cases like that. But if I come in and there's clothes on the floor, I'm working really hard on being like, it is their space. I can't be too rough on them because I'm pretty sure that yesterday there were clothes on the floor in my bedroom. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I didn't even do my chores this past weekend. And my husband hasn't done his chores for 2 weeks now. And my daughter does her chores every single Sunday. And we both feel horrible. But it doesn't, it's so bad to say this, but and I am. Now that I'm saying this, I'm probably going to have to go do the bathrooms. I feel bad now. But
later tonight, that'll be your celebratory picture you send me. I'm doing the
bathrooms. We have a clean bathroom.
But it's also for me. It makes me feel better and at peace.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only time you'll catch me cleaning in my house is when I'm avoiding other responsibilities.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
I get a really clean house when I have a deadline of something else. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But it's good to know that everyone contributes to this family, not just me. So if things aren't done, like before I would have seen some of the dirty places in the house, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm totally failing as a mother because I am not providing a clean environment for my children. That's the mean voice that talks to me in my head. And now I'm like, this is not my thing. I need to just go the other direction.
Right. And you know what? Are we still in a good place? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. We're in a great place.
We talked about that with another friend of yours, Jennifer, about
Jennifer.
Clean enough.
Jennifer's coming up in episode 4.
Yes.
Clean enough.
Is it clean enough for your sanity?
Yes. So in review, and first of all, if you guys want these No Guilt Mom mindsets in a pretty place and you want to post it somewhere, we have it for you at noguiltmom.com/episode 001.
Print them off beautifully. Hang them somewhere to remind yourself that these are your mindset, right?
This is your mindset. This is what you're working on. This is what you can tell yourself when you feel bad about something that you are not doing, or something that you feel pressured to do.
When the guilt is setting in. Yes.
So number 1, it's showing love for my family does not mean doing everything.
Yes. Number 2 is my kids will learn through mistakes.
We don't have to save them. Mm-hmm. Number 3, I am allowed to say no.
Setting boundaries are fine, and they are healthy, and they are appropriate.
They are appropriate. And if other people resent you for saying no, that is their problem. It is not yours.
Yep. Number 4 is I don't need to punish my kids in order to be a good parent.
Yes. Positive discipline is where it's at, and teaching. Number 5, I need my own thing apart from being a mom.
Yep. Find out who you are outside of that identity. Mm-hmm. And then number 6, everyone contributes to this family. Dude,
not just me.
It's not just me. It's not a one-pony show.
No. Mm-mm. And so that is the No Guilt Mom mindset. That is the ideal that we are working towards. And we are so happy that you are joining us on this journey. Expect this podcast. We're going to have a lot of interviews. We're going to have a lot of great discussions, and we always welcome your feedback. Email us at hello@noguiltmom.com if you have someone that you want us to interview for the podcast, or you have an idea for a future episode.
Please share. Please share.
Please share. And then leave a rating and review, because that helps the No Guilt Mom podcast get listened to by many other moms who need this message and to need to feel less guilt and shame in their lives. And until next time, The best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you.
Thank you all for stopping by. Have a good day.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.